Here's today's featured headline in space. As SpaceX expands its plans for direct-to-device services, Europe is investing more in key technologies for it. Today is September 9th, 2025, and you're listening to Space News First Up. Here are today's other top headlines. The head of the Space Development Agency has stepped down to take a position in academia. The Office of Space Commerce has lost 40% of its current year budget in a rescission. Three companies joined forces to demonstrate the ability to track hypersonic objects. And Earth imaging companies BlackSky and Iceye are joining an effort to create a digital twin of the Earth.
First Up is produced by Space News, the industry standard for professional space journalism. Visit spacenews.com for breaking news, policy updates, and original analysis.
We begin today with news that as SpaceX expands its plans for direct-to-device services, Europe is investing more in key technologies for it. Thales Alenia Space announced Monday it is leading a €55 million, 65 million project called You Deserve 5G, aiming to test connectivity compliant with terrestrial 3GPP mobile standards from low Earth orbit by early 2028. The payload would feature an active antenna designed to enable voice calls and data services directly with a standard mobile device without routing via a ground station. The announcement came the same day as SpaceX's deal to acquire EchoStar spectrum for direct-to-device services for $17 billion. One analyst said the EchoStar spectrum will dramatically change the throughput capacity for Starlink direct-to-device services. The head of the Space Development Agency has stepped down to take a position in academia. Auburn University announced Monday that it had hired Derek Turnier, who had been director of SDA since 2019, to be its inaugural director of space innovation at the university's Washington, D.C. office. His appointment comes as Alabama seeks to expand its role in the military space sector. Tournier earned widespread praise for the agency's disruptive procurement methods and fast-paced contracting, but also ran into controversy, such as being placed on paid administrative leave earlier this year to investigate alleged procedural irregularities involving SDA contracts. Gurpartap Sandhu, who had been SDA's deputy director, will serve as acting director of the agency. The Office of Space Commerce has lost 40% of its current year budget in a rescission. Industry sources said the office was informed in late August of the rescission, affecting 40% of its $65 million budget for fiscal year 2025. The move may slow work on the Traxxas space traffic coordination system, primarily how the office partners with companies on Pathfinder projects. Neither NOAA, within which the office is located, nor the Commerce Department responded to questions about the rescission. Three companies joined forces to demonstrate the ability to track hypersonic objects. The test involved the re-entry of a Varda Space Industries capsule in May, which was monitored by radars operated by Leo Labs and software from Anduril. Although the companies are highlighting the value of this technology for broad space domain awareness, the timing of the announcement and the specific details of the test highlight its potential military applications, particularly for the Golden Dome missile defense program. The test was funded through internal R&D money, and the companies said they would try the test again in the future. Earth imaging companies. BlackSky and Iceye are joining an effort to create a digital twin of the Earth. The joint campaign with AI visualization specialists, Echelon Technology, and Niantic Spatial intends to create a planetary-scale geospatial model called Project Orbion that can be frequently refreshed with satellite observations. BlackSky high-resolution visual imagery and Iceye synthetic aperture radar data will feed into Skybeam, Echelon's three-dimensional global database. Applications ranging from wildfire monitoring to military targeting require background global models with accurate coordinates.
Discover your next mission in the space industry with the Space News Job Exchange. Visit jobs.spacenews.com to find top aerospace roles and connect with leading employers. And for employers, use discount code JOBEX for 15% off your next purchase.
In other news, China conducted a pair of launches Monday. A Geelong 3, or Smart Dragon 3, commercial rocket lifted off from a ship in waters near the city of Rizhao at 3:48 p.m. Eastern. It put into orbit a group of satellites called Geely-05, part of a constellation being developed by G-Space to provide Internet of Things services. Additionally, a Long March 7 rocket lifted off at 10 p.m. Eastern from the Wenchang spaceport on the island of Hainan. It put into orbit the Yaogan 45 satellite, described by Chinese media as a remote sensing satellite, but likely with military applications. The Orlando Sentinel reports that weather scrubbed a Falcon 9 launch Monday night. SpaceX called off the launch from Cape Canaveral Monday evening because of poor weather in the area, including clouds and lightning. The launch of the Nusantara Lima communications satellite has been rescheduled for Tuesday evening, but with a similar weather forecast.
Share your company's news with the entire space industry through Stellar Dispatch, the press release service from Space News. Learn more and use discount code SD2106 for 15% off when you submit yours at spacenews.com/Stellar Dispatch.
Chinese scientists are proposing a mission to the asteroid Apophis when it makes a close approach to the Earth in 2029. The mission, discussed at a planetary science conference Monday, would consist of two small satellites sent into a halo orbit around Sun-Earth Lagrange point 1 to await the approach of Apophis. They would then transfer into a flyby orbit to meet the asteroid shortly after its close encounter with the Earth in April 2029. The mission would build upon a related proposal called Crown to place 6 spacecraft into Venus-like heliocentric orbits, intended to substantially improve the searching and tracking of near-Earth objects. European spaceflight reports that Iceye has won a contract from Finland's military for radar imaging satellites. Iceye said Monday it signed a contract with the Finnish Defense Forces for an undisclosed number of SAR satellites. The contract is worth 158 million euros and includes options to both extend the life of the satellites and acquire additional ones. The announcement did not disclose when the satellites would be launched. Space.com reports that observations of an exoplanet have turned up hints of habitability. Astronomers used the James Webb Space Telescope to take the spectra of the exoplanet TRAPPIST-1e as it transited in front of its parent star. One explanation for the data is that it shows signs of an atmosphere with nitrogen, a sign that it could be habitable given that the planet is in an orbit where it could support liquid water on its surface. However, astronomers said the data is also consistent with a planet with no atmosphere. Astronomers said they are planning additional observations of the exoplanet in the next few years to see if they can determine which explanation holds up.